it's Raimi, and today I'm so excited because we are diving in to the world of fanfiction. Okay, fanfiction to me is so interesting, and it's never really been anything that I've been interested in until TikTok. And I have seen this specific fanfic everywhere, and it finally got to me, okay? It finally got to me, and I had to just see what it was all about. I had to check it out. It looks so cute and so fun, and without further ado, introducing my first ever fanfic, Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love by Isthisselfcare. Look at how freaking cute. Oh my goodness, isn't it adorable? This specific fanfic is from the Harry Potter fandom, and it is about Draco and Hermione Granger. The premise of this story essentially is that it's 15 years after the War of Hogwarts, and a lot of time has passed, a lot of things have happened, and Draco is an Auror, and he gets an assignment of protection. So he doesn't know who it's about, he doesn't know who he needs to protect. It turns out to be Hermione Granger. She needs protection because there is a threat upon her, because she is of course still a genius, and she has discovered something that could change a lot of people's lives. And the Minister of Magic is worried that something is going to happen to her, and so he assigns Draco to protect Hermione. And that's where the story starts. And I was like, that has so much potential to be so fun and so cute, and it's like the epitome of enemies to lovers. I don't think that fanfic is going to be a frequent thing on my channel or a common thing that I will read, but this one just sounded so fun and so cute, and I had to try it out. I wanted to start out first by saying I have never read fanfiction before. I do not know a lot about the culture of fanfiction, and I know that especially on AO3 there is a lot of culture and there's a lot of things to know, and there are tons of ways to understand the kind of content that you're reading, like through tags and stuff like that. I do not know any of those things. I do not know how to give you any information on that. There are so many creators on TikTok and YouTube and other platforms that know so much more about it than I do, so please seek them out, learn from them, because I am not the person to learn from, because there is some interesting stuff on AO3 that you might not want to dive into. It might be triggering for you, it might not be the kind of content that you're wanting to consume, so just be very wary if you start diving into the world of fanfic. Just be aware of that, okay? 2, I wanted to show you guys how I got this book onto my Kindle with the cover and everything like that. I also learned this from TikTok, and I will link those videos below so that you can watch them yourself. I will put a timestamp somewhere so that you know, like if you don't really care about getting a fanfic on your Kindle, you don't want to worry about that, you can skip ahead and we can get to actually reading this fanfic and seeing what we think about it. Okay, I'm going to start a screen recording so that you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love by Isthisselfcare on AO3. I'm doing this on my phone because it winds up speaking with the Kindle app really easily, but you can also do this on your iPad. I'm sure there's a way to do it on your computer. This is just how I did it, and it wound up working really well for me. At the top here, you have a bunch of buttons to choose from. You're gonna click on download, and it's gonna give you a bunch of file formats. Kindle just sent out an update saying that they are doing away with supporting the Mobi file format. So I would recommend downloading an EPUB. So you're gonna click EPUB, and then you're gonna click download. And this is going to appear in your files folder on your phone or your iPad. We're gonna go to files, and it'll be right there at the top. It has downloaded the EPUB, but we want to have the cute graphic for the fanfic. You can go online and search up the fanfic that you're wanting to download, and a lot of the times they have some sort of graphic or cover art or some fan art or something that you can use as your cover if you'd like, or you can use any other photo. You can pick any photo for your cover, so it doesn't have to be one that you get from online, but that's just where I got mine. And the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love. And this top left image is the cover that was actually picked by the author of this fanfic. That's the one that I wanted. Click and hold, and then you say save to photos. So you have that in your photos. So then in order to get the photo onto the document, you're gonna go to onlineconverter.com, and you're gonna have a bunch of different options. And we want to use the ebook converter. So you're going to select change EPUB cover on ebook tool, and it'll allow you to choose your EPUB file. You're gonna go to choose file and select the file that you want to put a cover onto, and then you're going to select choose cover image, and you're gonna select from your photo library, and you can pick the cover that you just downloaded. Click done. And then for image resize, I said fill, and then you're gonna click convert. And it's gonna take a minute, and it's gonna download this new converted file so that your beautiful cover is on your ebook. Because if not, which is totally fine, like if you don't wanna do this step, you don't have to. That EPUB document will send to your Kindle just fine. It's more that it'll just look like a generic document on your Kindle. It won't look like anything special. So here, under conversion completed, you're gonna click download now to get the converted file. Ignore the ads, there are lots of ads, but honestly, this worked so well, so just avoid the ads and you'll be fine. And then it will download that new file. So you'll go back to your downloads. Then what you're going to do is you're gonna click on that new EPUB file with the cover on it, and you're going to click share. You're gonna then scroll over to your Kindle app on your phone, and this is where you can type in the title, and then the author's name. It'll tell you the author name or the author username on AO3, so you can just type that into author name, and then you will click send. I'm not gonna do that just because I don't want a duplicate on my Kindle, but once you click send, it'll send the file. It'll take a couple minutes, but it will pop up on your Kindle device as well as your Kindle app on your phone. So you can read it from your phone or your Kindle. You can see that the book is right here in your Kindle library, and then when you click on it, it opens up to wherever you are at reading, and it will show you your progress and read like any other Kindle book. That is how I got this fan fiction onto my actual Kindle. This is how little I knew about fanfic. I was like, okay, either I have to read it on my computer or I have to learn how to do bookbinding, because I didn't really want to read it on my computer, and I'm not against learning how to bookbind because I think it's a really interesting hobby, but I just wasn't in the mood. I was like, I just want to read this book. Like, I don't want to sit here and have to learn a whole new skill in order to read this book. So I was doing some searching on TikTok and found this amazing creator that walked through it step by step, and it was so easy, and I'm so thankful because now I can read it very, very easily on my Kindle, which is awesome. Now that we have the book on our Kindle, now that it looks beautiful and we have the cover art, I am excited to update you guys on reading my first ever fanfic. So far, I started reading it last night. I just got so excited after I downloaded it that I am 5% of the way through, and I think that the vibe is there. The vibe is there. The writing is done very well. I'm pleasantly surprised. It doesn't read like I guess what I assumed a fanfic would. It doesn't read like an amateur writer. It reads very well, and I'm super excited to see what I think about this fanfic by the end. I genuinely have no idea what to expect, being only 5% of the way into the book. So yeah, let's get to reading. Okay, I have to show this line. Oh, this is so funny. So they're at like a medical convention or something, and Hermione was speaking and like whatever, because she's a healer, she's a doctor, blah blah blah. And she does not want him around. She doesn't feel like she wants to be protected, so she's trying to make like any excuse for him to leave. So she says like that she thinks that she could pass him off as like eating something bad, or like just saying that he's sick. And he was like, I don't want to say that I'm sick because there are hundreds of doctors here. If I say that I'm sick, they'll all descend on me and try to cure me. I don't want anyone sticking a stethoscope up my bum. And Hermione goes, no one sticks stethoscopes up anyone's bums. Like, I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I can't with this dialogue. It's too funny. Oh my gosh. And she apparently said that super loud. That no one sticks stethoscope up anyone's bum. And two people that were at the conference turned to look at her and were like, what? And Draco just goes, oops. Spot, and here we are again. So, a little bit of an update with this book, okay? So, I have been reading and 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 reading. And I'm still only 32% of the way through this book, okay? I don't know what wizardry or witchcraft is in this, but it is going by so slow. And I feel like yesterday I read for 2 hours and did not make like significant progress. I mean, I haven't like been sitting down consistently reading like 2 to 3 hours every single day, because sometimes that's just not reasonable when you have like a crazy busy day. But I did not expect this book to take this long. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's really good. Like, I'm enjoying every single second of it. I just feel like it's so well written. There are parts where I was like, oh, like this is really hard, or this is difficult or whatever, because it like referred back to difficult or hard times in the original books that the characters are kind of having to live out and deal with 15 years in the future. And I just love that callback, and that it's this person who wrote it, Isthisselfcare, obviously was insanely familiar with the Harry Potter books, so I'm absolutely loving that. 32% of the way through, we're just starting to get where maybe they might be possibly enjoying each other's company. Maybe. I just truly, like, it has me laughing and giggling and smiling and tearing up a little bit. If you haven't read a fanfic and you're like wanting to kind of dip your toe in, thus far, I highly recommend this book. So well done. I have been going and reading in the park, if you previously watched, and that's just not gonna happen today because it is raining and it is cold and it is dreary. So I think I'm going to cuddle up on the couch or on my chair and read for a little bit while I eat my snack of chia seed pudding with pineapple in it. We're gonna do that right now. It has been an entire whirlwind with this fanfic, okay? I did not realize that this was like the equivalent of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Like, that is how long this fanfic is. It's like comparatively word count to page count. It's like around a 750 page book, which is just actually insane. It's been taking me a hot minute, but okay, so as you previously saw, I went and took a girls trip to California. I read it on the trip. I wasn't really able to film a ton because we were just doing a ton of things and it was so much fun and we were so busy. So really my only reading was on the plane and before bed. I am 74% of the way through, like, which is like, it seems like this is just going on forever and ever, and it kind of is, but it is so good. Like, genuinely, the quality of writing of this fanfic is insane. I haven't read literally any other fanfic, so I don't really have like anything to compare it to, but it feels like I am reading a legitimate sequel to the Harry Potter series. Like, it doesn't feel like it's so detached. There are so many callbacks and so many like references and so many connection points. It's actually insane. And this is such a slow burn. Like, if slow burns could slow burn slower, this is the slowest slow burn ever. I don't think I've read a book with this slow of a slow burn. We are 74% of the way through and something finally happened, okay? And also I literally was like kicking my little feet. Oh, it was amazing. Okay, it was absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to spoil it. And I was talking to one of my friends and going through some of the Goodreads review, and like people were saying that they believed it could be shorter, which I agree with, but also there is no part of this book thus far that I have felt like, like, let's get on with it. Like, I am enjoying literally every single page of this book. I cannot put this down, so I have been reading for the last like 2 hours, just like devouring, also going on TikTok a little bit because addicted to my phone problems. I am hoping to be able to finish this by like tomorrow because I need to get this video up. Like, it needs to be done. I need to conclude this. Fingers crossed. Okay, wish me luck because I have a lot of other books that I want to move on to. I'm so excited to see how this ends because there's so much open and so much happening right now. Like, a major plot point has finally, like, I mean, aside from like you know, them, but like different major plot point has like finally kind of reared its ugly head, and like I'm so curious to figure out the conclusion of this issue that has presented itself. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and actually like, you know, and we'll see what happens. Can't even highlight that. Draco needs to slow down right now. Ooh. Okay, so there are parts of the book that are in French, and most of them you can kind of get with context clues, but this part is towards the end, and I just wanted to like make sure that I was getting it. And look. Okay, Mr. Darcy. I was like, stop. This is so amazing. So, just loving this so much. I'm pausing for right now. It's telling me that I have about an hour left in the book, which is like so encouraging because this has been taking literally 10 million years. So we have about an hour. I am actually going to the pumpkin patch / corn maze with my best friend today, and we have to leave in about an hour, so I'm gonna go get ready and then we will finish this sometime today, just not right now. Oh my gosh, I just finished the book. Look, 100% book complete. It's officially done. Oh my gosh, I cannot even believe it. Done. Let me process for a minute and then we will regroup. I'll let you know how I feel about the last bit of this book and this book overall. I officially finished Draco Malfoy and the mortifying ordeal of being in love, and it was my first ever fanfic, and wow, I think I got spoiled by this being my first ever fanfic because the quality of writing, the story was so good. The way that it tied into the original story, there were so many things that like overlapped and were like callbacks, and like even were like small tweaks of how the end of the Deathly Hallows kind of played out. And so to kind of get a different spin on like the end of the war and everything that happens in the last Harry Potter book played out, and like, I don't know, it just fits so well with the story. I get it, like if you're a Hermione and Ron stan, then like obviously this is not your cup of tea, but like personally I just never saw them together, so I could imagine Hermione with someone else, you know, if that makes sense. And I just thought that the author did such a good job of turning Draco into such a complex, morally gray hero, and Hermione kind of becoming this more like mature woman, I really enjoyed as well. Like seeing these childhood characters that we grew up loving and watching them grow up in the books and in the movies into like young adolescents, and then kind of getting this like expanded story of these characters well into their adulthood was really fun. It was a very, very, very long book. I truly enjoyed every second of it. There was not a part of it that I felt bored. While it did take me literally so long to finish it, I enjoyed it from the beginning to the end. And holy slow burn, okay? Like that was probably one of the slowest slow burns I have ever read, and it paid off in the end. Like getting to see how the author created their relationship over the entire span of this book was so incredible. I highly recommend, if you are like a Harry Potter fan and you've never really, or even if you love fan fiction, I would highly recommend. But I thought that as someone who's never really read fan fiction, this was such a great example of the possibilities of fan fiction. I was having literally a blast. It was such a funny, lighthearted, wonderful, wonderful story. It does get a little spicy towards the end, so just beware of that. I thought the author did a good job of prefacing when those things were coming with their chapter notes, so that was helpful. I don't know if fanfic is going to be something that is like a continual thing on my roster of reading, but I'm just so impressed by the people that can create such amazing art from these stories that we know and love. I just had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.